who would like to make a presentation?
Thank you, CII. Thank you, everybody, for patiently being here. My name is Shrikant, by the way. I'm a founder of a moonshotish concept and an idea called Happy Cities. And I purposely choose the word happy in the name of my company. See, cities are these magical inventions that human beings did, right? Where we all came together, we interact with each other, we socialize with each other, we learn from each other, we trade with each other, and we create a life out of it. We make friends, we fall in love, we make babies, we make families. That's what cities is all about, right? Increase our human satisfaction or happiness levels. Unfortunately, our cities are being planned and designed and functioning in totally opposite way. We have been segregated in the boxes of 4 by 10 meter feet of cars. We have been segregated into gated communities. I live in an area which was supposed to be which was a village in one point of time, and now a lot of big developments have happened. Gated communities I also moved in. Just behind my big wall, right? It's like almost a fort. There's a beautiful lake. There's a nice tree, and the locals there, they come there and they do a lot of events, a lot of rituals. There's a lot of customs involved in that. None of us living inside that gated community even know about it. Inside our gated communities, we do a lot of events, Diwali, New Year, and all that, and none of those villagers around us even are invited or not welcome, nor do they know about it. That's the kind of society we are creating. And the reason why I'm talking about these points, because humanity is all about that. Cultural exchanges, knowledge exchanges, right? And that's not happening. Our cities are divided. I'm sure a lot of bachelors here, you know how much of discrimination you face when you go for a rental. A non-veg person, he doesn't get a rental in our housing, right? A Muslim doesn't get a rental. Hindu doesn't get a rental in Muslim housing. These are the bigger problems that no technology can ever solve, right? So, in fact, I did a very small school competition. Right? I told them to write down what is your ideal city. We did this in government schools, private schools. We asked them to write as a part of some political campaign for some friend. I was helping him out. And surprisingly, a lot of government school children, they talked about pollution, traffic, and plastic and all that, whatnot, we all know. But one thing that came out consistently from government schools was discrimination. Caste-based discrimination. So things are not right in our cities. If you have to create a happy city where the outcome is happiness index, then we have to introspect as a society, like what kind of cities are we planning. The more urban sprawl that we create, the more gated communities that we create on the suburbs, which are encroaching upon. I would say I will use the word encroaching because village also has its life. You know, we are basically expanding into villages and without even mingling with them, without even understanding what that village stands for. And we are traveling in cars, not even interacting with anybody, right? In fact, we are getting mad at each other. In this stress levels, people are like just cursing each other. That's the kind of society we are creating, and that's not good for a society. We have to be united. We have to be together as a city, as a country, as a state. So let me show you what we are working on in Happy Cities. So basically, Happy Cities is like an idea that was born out of the frustration that I saw in India. That how cities have gone from bad to worse. And I thought something needs to be done. There has to be some way to come out of this madness. So I started this project, and this is basically we are trying to create a model city, like how it would look like what would be the city forms, how it would be a mobility efficient. Because what I realized is the core problem of our cities are mobility, lack of mobility, efficient mobility, and affordable mobility. Even if you buy a 20 lakh rupee car, you still have to spend so much of time and energy and fuel on roads, which you would have otherwise spent with your family. That's what makes a life beautiful. So some of the city forms that we played around, and we could figure out that this is probably the most efficient in terms of land use, in terms of, there's a CBZ in the center, the big red square, and then there is this different kind of roads. Blue roads are, for social infrastructure, schools, clubhouses. Everything else is residential. The green streets and the red streets are the commercial streets where, high city scale commercial happens. And these two circles are basically intra-city transit points, multimodal hub kind of things, where you want to go from one city to another. And the scale is very small, it's 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers. And so let me talk about this green streets. Now, if you have observed, the green streets are basically shortcuts from residential to CBZ, because that's where the CBZ will attract most employment, most commute. So they're kind of shortcuts. And then let's talk about the design of this city, green street, how it looks like. So imagine these green streets are nothing but malls, right? We have malls everywhere. Think about it, just a mall which is aligned in that fashion, a long mall with 2 floors, probably ground floor, basement, and first floor, right, on the surface. That could be your mode of commute to work. It's a walkable street. You can cycle, you can, pick up groceries while going and coming back from work. You can take the underground basement where there will be travelators. So travelator, what is travelator, right? It's those flat escalators, basically. You could use that as your commute, right? So these kind of cities will basically make human interaction possible, right? Because you're flowing through people, it's a crowd of people. You're probably, you have this favorite place from where you buy your tiffin, your dosa idli, or some whatever breakfast, or you find a grocery store, you find a flower shop, you interact with them. Learn what they are doing, right? And so this will encourage, the walkable streets, pedestrian streets will encourage social interaction across the spectrum. Whether we are rich, poor, haves, not haves, everybody will basically interact in one way or the other. Either they'll transfer, they'll talk, they'll gossip, a lot of things. It will be safe. The best way to keep a city safe is to make sure that there are more eyes on the street. Dark places where there is no humans or there is just cars flowing is not safe. Cars will cause accidents is one thing, but the fact that there are not many people around to really help you when you need it, right? So eyes on the street is one concept that is very popular in urban design elements. Umbrella-free city, right? So when this kind of green streets can also be an umbrella-free in the sense, 6 to 7 months our countries face extreme climatic conditions, either rain or summer. In Hyderabad, this time it is 43 degrees. The entire Hyderabad was shut. The local businesses were shutting their shop. Imagine how much of income loss they would have incurred. Again, humanity, right? Their income is affected because they cannot do business. They cannot stand there, and nobody is venturing out because it's too hot or it's raining, right? So we have to create climate resilient cities where they allow people to do business, right? Even in extreme climatic conditions. So we are working on this umbrella-free city concept where no matter what, you don't need to carry an umbrella because you can just walk. And there is also a very proven research that along these green streets you have very high rentals because the footfalls is high. You have high rentals. It's more than a mall which is besides a motorway, express motorway. The footfalls, the rentals, the business that happens on these walkable streets is much higher than car-centric streets, right? So why I'm saying this is because our cities have to first fix these problems of the way they have been planned, they have been designed. There's a huge subject of urban design, and I've been told that the urban designers do not get to work on their core subject. Why? Because our cities do not, consider that a barrier-free, like he said, barrier-free footpaths, cycle tracks. So these are the things that will make people happy because they'll be living a stress-free life, a happy life. And lastly, I would like to say that the future of mobility is basically walking, cycling, and public transport. There is no other way to get rid of traffic congestion, period. You can not build your way out of installing AI-backed traffic management systems or build roads and flyovers and expressways. They all are a failed idea. So I really want to see when this smart cities mission will start considering or adopting these urban planning and urban design elements, which are well known, and there are many institutes which are promoting WRI and ITDP and all that. When they will start getting an active role to play, because today our cities are being designed, constructed by real estate people. As long as the real estate people are not a part of this session today, nothing's going to change, because they hold the ace of cards in the way your cities are being human friendly, I would say. They hold the cards. So unless and until they come on board on the smart city mission, I don't see a way how we can transform our cities and make it more livable, more happy, and more fun to live. So that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Srikanth. So I think the important point which he has put forward is some sort of